Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment, Beverly Raine with
Kingsview Behavioral Health.
Kingsview Behavioral Health. Welcome
it's
to the
mouthful.
show.
I know.
It is, ba-da, this time of day.
Right.
But what is Kingsview Behavioral Health?
Kingsview Behavioral Health is an organization that has been located here in the Valley for the last 65, almost 70 years.
So it's got a few weeks under its belt.
It does,
All right.
and it was started out in Reedley on the Kings River,
All right.
where we had an inpatient facility. And that closed several years ago. And now we do everything but inpatient. We run the DUI program here in Fresno and several counties here in the Valley. We have the PATH program, which is taking people from homelessness into shelter.
Really?
Getting them apartments. Yeah. That's a county-sponsored program by Fresno County Behavioral Health.
Right.
And we do wellness and recovery out at Blue Sky Wellness Center, which is on Blackstone. And that's somebody who's going through rehab. They may have a diagnosis, they go there. They have support groups, peer support groups, various activities. And eventually, sometimes, they come to work for us.
All right.
And
cool.
we also work on Rural Triage, which is a new program, and this is also paid for by the Department of Behavioral Health. Rural Triage is where we, we have our staff going into rural areas with police officers if there's a crisis, because often we find when the 911 is called and someone shows up, it happens to be more of a behavioral health issue than a crime.
That happens, you bet.
A lot.
You know, families and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, so we're keeping that going. And then one of our more exciting, and we do the Central Valley Suicide Prevention Hotline, and that number for anybody out there is 1-888-506-5991. Okay. Call if you're in crisis or suicidal. And then another program, which is a collaborative, is Kingsview is working with the Poverello and Centro La Familia. And it's called a multi-agency access point. And that is funded by the Department of Behavioral Health, Fresno County. And we're getting people who are perhaps looking for linkages to getting their driver's license. They may be looking for linkages to get their papers, behavioral health, substance abuse. Physical health. So we're linking them. We have people that can take them from rural areas and bring them into town. Kind
of a central clearinghouse, if you will, for people that have various needs like that.
Correct.
And now, in Poverello House in La Familia, this is for women, basically?
No, it's for anybody.
It's for anybody.
Men and women, younger folk, older folks, someone who's in an area where they need help. And they haven't had access or don't know where to get linkages to community resources. And so they come into the system and we'll work with them, and it's all confidential and HIPAA compliant.
Right.
And we'll find them the linkages they need to maybe get them some physical help, mental help, housing.
Beverly, how does someone initially end up with your organization? Is it usually through issues in communities, issues at home, or do they walk through the door? How do, someone's in need, desperate. I mean, obviously the suicide prevention, it's very obvious how they end up through there. But what about the other areas? How does someone end up with Kingsview?
What will happen is we might have a program where they have been referred to us by the Department of Behavioral Health, and they've gone through rehab, and they're looking for a support group. They're looking for continual wellness and recovery, and so that would be our Blue Sky Wellness Center. We have teams that go out into the streets and various parts of Fresno where we know there may be a homeless population, and we reach out to them. And then they'll come and they'll connect with us.
So you're proactive also.
Absolutely. Then we have a really nice program called the YEC, Youth Empowerment Centers, and we find those children that might be a little bit at risk, and they join
in those neighborhoods where there's a little bit higher crime rate, or maybe some gangs in the outlying areas, stuff like that.
And some of the things we do is we have them come in for group sessions where they have fun and they play ping pong. Next week we have a program where they're coming in and we're providing them with back-to-school supplies.
Cool.
Yeah, that they may not otherwise have. So we do everything from all the way around, from helping someone in their recovery and wellness. We have a big program called Telepsychiatry, and I'm the executive director of Telepsychiatry. And in certain areas, which are rural areas where there are no psychiatrists, we provide that service over the television, really, is what it is. And today, a good example, we were told because of the fires, one of the communication towers is down, so we're trying to get medicines refilled today to get out through UPS to get to the clients that need them going forward. So we're very cutting edge. We're doing all sorts of stuff in the telepsych area.
And how long have you been with them?
I've been with Kingsview 8 years.
So you got a few weeks under your belt, too, huh?
Just a few.
Yeah. Like what you do?
Love it.
Yeah.
We love the clients. I can't say enough about Kingsview and the staff and the clients. The staff that we work with are incredibly dedicated. We've had people there for decades. It's a good team. It's a good company.
And if I want to get a hold of Kingsview, what's the best way?
The best way is to go to our website, which is www.kings, K-I-N-G-S, view, V-I-E-W.org, and that'll have a list of our locations, our programs, everything we do. We do Suboxone, methadone, so you name it, we're doing it. So if anybody is in need, crisis or not crisis, or knows somebody they want to refer to us, that's how to get a hold of us.
Good
and our
deal.
numbers are there too.
All right. Beverly, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Come on back. We'll talk more.
Absolutely. Love to.
You're in need. You got a family member in need. You got a friend in need. Kingsview. You might want to get a hold of them. I'll see you when we come back.